A United States education is your gateway
to a great American campus experience,
to study in a country of innovators and entrepreneurs,
to use your curiosity wisely,
to take on challenges,
to think differently,
to have endless opportunities,
to hear new perspectives,
to navigate cultural differences,
to pursue your passions,
to gain real-world experiences,
to learn skills for a changing job market,
to put theory into practice,
to become the kind of professional you want to be,
to thrive in your career,
to give back to your community and to the world,
to be the kind of person that you wouldn't have dreamed to be otherwise.
Come study.
Come study.
Come study.
Come study in the United States.
Dedicated to the application process for the colleges and universities in the United States. We are very happy and excited to share with you a new topic of those webinars. And one of the topic that we have today, I think, is a topic that is super sensitive and super actual for all the students, because everyone is excited to find some more information about this step. So it's the financial aid. And as you might know, financial aid, the research of financial aid might be very tricky, and we'll try to offer you as much detailed information on different scholarships, types of financial aid that you can search for. And we have touched a lot of interesting and actual information that can help you to prepare during the process. But first of all, I would like to say that Education USA, we are Education USA actually, and I would like to mention that Education USA is here to help you to prepare during the application process. And we have a huge network. We have 430 international student advising centers across more than 175 countries, and we are offering and we are promoting the U.S. higher education globally. We are providing accurate, comprehensive, and up-to-date information. So we are so that you can reach to us, and so we'll do our best to provide our consultations. So whether you are located in any country in the world, you can search on our website, actually, on educationusa.org, the center that is closer to you, to your location, and you can definitely write us an email. Also, you can access our platform, myeducationusa.online, Education USA Virtuals platform. And you can get access to our virtual courses for self-preparation for admission. We have really nice and useful courses which will help you and will guide you more in the application process. We also have a lot of online events about the admission process in the USA. So we also hope that that you can attend those. What we are providing, actually, Education USA Virtual Project is providing student support. We are providing interactive webinars. We are providing useful resources and material. And we are here a community of like-minded individuals. And as I mentioned, we offer informational courses. Okay, so the agenda that we have for today. We have two advisors. That's going to be me, Alina Yakubov, and my colleague, Ainash. And as I mentioned before, we are going to talk about the financial aid. And our agenda will consist of talking about the cost of study and chances of getting financial aid, the types of financial aid, specifically for undergraduate and graduate students. we will touch the myths, which are the most popular things among our students, and we'll try to destroy them. And we'll give you some good examples. We will talk about how you can find a good fit, what main steps you should consider, how you can qualify for financial aid, and how we can help. Okay, so we've already mentioned that our previous webinar, but it's really important to note that when you are starting to prepare for the application process, there are 5 steps to consider. And particularly today, we're going to talk about the second one, the finance your studies. And here we have an image with a really great description of how much can be the costs of studying in the USA. So here we have the price for the tuition, the living and meals, the travel, the books and materials, the insurance, the personal expenses. So all that might seem to be a lot, but we are going to discuss in details how you can avoid paying for that in case if you are an undergraduate or a graduate student, and what ways are using our students for applying for financial aid and how they are searching for it. Okay, so first of all, I would like to say that everyone definitely has a chance to get financial aid. And here we have an image with an undergraduate student that is a freshman and an undergraduate student that's transfer student. So I will explain you the difference between those 2 images. So for the freshman, definitely it's much easier to apply for financial aid because they are finishing their studies in their countries. I mean, international students, definitely. So for them, it's kind of much easier to apply for studies. They are already prepared. Their list of activities and their application is ready, and they are ready to go. Despite for transfer students, as long as they are studying, let's say, in their homeland country and they want to transfer to a university or college in the US, it's kind of much difficult because universities aren't really providing a lot of money to the transfer students, and their chances are kind of less. So in many cases, universities are also asking for some additional courses and some additional credits students have to consider when transferring to the university in the US. And in those cases, it's kind of much easier and it's better to address to the university. So if, for example, you are studying actually, let's say, in your homeland and you want to transfer to a university in the US, we definitely recommend you to ask the university what is the application process. That can be actually a normal application process, but considering the fact that you've studied like for 1 year or 2 years in your homeland country, there might be some differences and some courses that you might take additionally. So the university in the US would consider your application. We have also some examples of community college students who've been studying in a community college in the US and they want to transfer in their first year, for example. And in that case, you can definitely reach up to the university. They have the agreements because they have this 2+2 agreement. They also can guide you during the process. So yeah, definitely there is a big difference, and the amount is definitely decided by the university how much they will allow for freshman students and how much it's going to be for transfer students. Okay. For the graduate degree, for master degree, actually, we know that the practical and they offer for the practical and professional master degree letter financial aid, and that is available only for professional degrees like for law, business, and medicine. Instead, for PhD, they offer more financial aid, and that's available for students who are studying hard sciences and social sciences. So definitely we say that it's kind of much easier for students who are applying for PhD to get the financial aid. And we will give you some examples on what financial aid and types of financial aid the undergraduate and graduate students can get and can apply for. Okay, so here we have a slide with the types of institutions and an average charge they have. So as I mentioned, for the 2-year community college, you can pay an average of approximate of $17,000. For a 4-year public college or universities, that's gonna be an average of $34,000, and for a 4-year private college and university, it's like $71,000, and all that is per year. So even though, let's say for private college or university, that might be super expensive, in the same time they can offer you significant aid. So we'll definitely research that during our presentation, and we'll give you some more details on what type of scholarships and financial aid you can get for all those institutions. And for the next slide, I'll ask my colleague Aina to give you more information.
Thank you, Alina, and hi, everybody. So to be aware of what to expect, we need to be aware of terminology, first of all. So let's understand the terminology that universities usually use, and you can find them on their websites. The first is need-based financial aid. It's a funding based on family, students financial contributions, or how many money they simply how much money students can pay and or family can contribute towards students' education. Merit-based awards are the funding based on academic performance. So we call them scholarships. It's scholarships which are given according to the students' test scores and other achievements. Need blind admissions, its ability to pay, it's the admissions process when the ability to pay is not considered in admissions process. Need sensitive or need aware, it's an admissions process when the ability to pay is considered by the university. And meet full demonstrated need is the when all students family financial need is accounted for the future education, and university tries to fill the gap between the family contribution and the money that is left for the fees that should be paid. So next slide, please. With the terminology we have discussed, we can find several aid models that universities usually use, and usually they are pointed on the university website, and you can find them on the financial aid opportunities page of the university. The first aid model is need blind admissions with full need met or full demonstrated need. Under this model, institutions admit students regardless of their financial need and commit to meeting the full demonstrated financial need of admitted students through a combination of grants, scholarships, work study, or loans. The second one is the need-aware or need-sensitive admission with full need met. In this model, institutions consider applicants' financial need during the admissions process, but still commit to meeting the full demonstrated financial need of admitted students. So according to these two models, universities try to fill the gap between the cost of study and the amount of money that the family or student can contribute towards his or her education. Next one is need blind and do not meet full demonstrated need aid model. We call it also gapping. It's when universities usually are need blind and don't consider the opportunity of the family or student to pay, but still is not aware of the gapping or the money which is left. So student or a family needs to find the money that is left themselves or apply to the scholarships which are given not by university but maybe by funds or other should discuss other aid models. Next one is merit-based aid. Or some colleges and universities offer scholarships and grants based on academic achievements, extracurricular involvement, leadership qualities, talent, or other criteria unrelated to financial need. Some universities consider other ways of understanding students' ability to pay. For example, it can be only need-based, only merit-based, need and merit-based in combination, or universities on their website can say that they don't give any aid models and they don't have any scholarships. So the amount of money which is placed as a tuition aid should be considered as the final for the student. So need-based aid, this model provides financial assistance to students based on their financial need, as determined by the information provided on the fee application, for example, such as CSS for international students. Also, some universities give an opportunity of work-study programs for international students. But here, international students should be aware that they can work during the term only 20 hours and on campus, and during the breaks they can find the internship and work full-time, but according to their future or according to their majors. Also, there is always loan opportunity. So let's discuss the first type. It's general need-based aid. So to understand, to be aware, or to meet the need-based aid opportunity, we should understand the first terminology. It is EFS, expected family contribution. Expected family contribution is understood as an amount of money that family can offer student to be paid for their education. Usually this kind of opportunity or aid is available by private universities, as they have more opportunity to pay for students. Also, applicants should be aware that they have to fill different forms, and they should be submitted via different systems. Maybe these systems can be university systems of their own, or they can be offered to fill the CSS profile. Next is that student can also be asked to fill different applications additionally to the admissions application. For example, it can be different, and also university can ask for different types of documents provided to support the expected family contribution. Next slide, please. So, how can we understand the primary sources of funding for international students in the US? Here we can see in the bottom that is written that by the NAFSA, in 2022 and 2023 academic year, $4 billion US dollars were contributed by international students to US economy. So we should be aware and should understand that nevertheless, there are some aid opportunities, merit or need-based, provided by university and other organizations. Usually 67% of the whole tuition fee and other money that should be spent for the education of a student is contributed by family. So it's personal or family sources. 17% is the opportunity that usually universities or colleges give for students, such as university or college funds. 7% are foreign government funding or special funding for example, there are some funding for Chinese students, some governments or some companies give an opportunity to sub-fund future students' education, and you should find the requirements on the different websites, official websites of governments or the companies. And the 7% usually is paid by contributed by student by working during their education. And again, international students should be aware that during their full-time education, during their academic term, they can work only 20 hours and on campus, and Also, they should be aware that there is an opportunity for students to work during their internship, during their breaks, summer and winter breaks, if there's only 2 terms, and 3 breaks if they have 3 terms during their academic year. Next slide, please. So, how is NEET calculated usually by universities? So, there is a cost of attendance, and as we said, there are expected family or personal contribution that is given by that can be given by family or student. So, cost of attendance minus EFS is a need that is should be it's a gap between the cost of attendance and the money that should be paid. So cost of attendance varies by schools, as Alina already mentioned. The lower price sticker is in community college usually, and the higher price sticker is for 4-year universities. For foreign students, family contribution, usually American universities expect family contribution for foreign students in US. Next, please. So need-based applications for foreign students uh, can be supported by different documents and applications. There are some systems that provide information about financial opportunities of international students, such as application for financial assistance and CSS profile. CSS profile is filled online, and it has a fee from 16 to 25 US dollars per university. Some university, you should be aware on the university official website that you are applying, because some universities give an opportunity of fee waiver for the CSS profile during the admissions process. And also students should be aware that they sometimes need a certification of finances. This certification of finances also is called as the supporting documents that can be asked by university during the application process. The documents can consist of the tax forms, salary confirmation letters, current bank checking or saving accounts of the parents and students. Also, in the CSS profiles, students fill the dependents that they have in the family. It's like siblings, and also some business, if their parents own or students own business, also should be shown in the CSS profile. Next, please. So the second aid model that can be found in the US universities, the popular one, is the merit-based scholarships. Merit-based scholarships are given according to the they are academically focused, and they are given according to some criteria. Usually these criteria consist of the test scores such as SAT, ACT, TOEFL, and GPA from the high school, and AP exams if taken. Also, during the merit-based scholarships, some research projects can be taken into account, which was done during their high school or middle school education, and some Olympiads that were won, the gold medals or silver medals that students have in the Olympiads. But students should be aware that the merit-based scholarships usually are giving if the application is looked holistically. So if you have chosen the major, you should be aware that your research projects and the AP exams that you have taken should be in the area that you have the major you have chosen. So the merit-based scholarships can be awarded by faculty members of the university, and universities usually look for portfolio that was completed during the high school education. Next, please.
Okay, so I think this one I'm gonna take.
This is Alina's. Thank you.
Okay, So we have other types of funding and cutting cost of study. So as I now already mentioned, we have the on-campus work, and every international student, as she mentioned already, has to know that he cannot work more than 20 hours a week on campus. Actually, there is a possibility to work also in the breaks. One of the most popular break, I guess, is the summer break. So in the summer break, they can also refer to some internships and also some additional work on campus, if that's possible. We have also some tuition-free schools. We listed some of them. That's for undergraduate students, but that's an information that normally changes and it's updating constantly. So you can definitely browse that on internet. Then we have the loans that Anna also mentioned, but that's a possibility for at home or in the U.S. permanent residents, or U.S. will act as and a U.S. citizen will act as a co-signer. And this is, the loans definitely for international students, that's a difficult part, but in case if you have the possibility to reach to someone that, a relative of yours who can be the co-signer, then definitely that can be also an option. Then also choosing less expensive schools. And we have already mentioned in our previous webinar that you can choose actually, and you can do a research, you can start doing that research for less expensive schools on the College Board website, because there are a lot of also rankings, and there is the minimum requirements that every school would also have, and there is the minimum acceptance. So there is a lot of information. You can also browse for financial aid. You can also look on our Education USA, that state.gov official website for some more and additional scholarships, which are offered by a lot of universities, and that's up-to-date information, and you can definitely find something that it's eligible for you. Okay, then I will explain here the institutional aid from the university that is given to graduate students. So we have the fellowships, we have the assistantships, that's the 20 hours work for stipend. And then for assistantship, we have the research assistantships, we have the teaching assistantships, and the graduate assistantships. And you can see here the difference. The research assistantships are awarded by the professors, and they contribute to your thesis research. Then the teaching assistantships must demonstrate strong spoken English and teaching experience. The teaching assistantship positions can be in other departments, definitely. And then the graduate assistantships are awarded by department or graduate school, and that's an administrative type of work. Then other sources of income for graduate students can be internships, the all programs, like particularly for MBA students. So yeah, that can be also an option if you are working for a company and that company can pay your tuition for a college or a university in the United States. That can be definitely also an option. Okay, and then we have here a slide that will destroy a bit the myths that are super popular among our students, and especially those who are looking for financial aid. So everyone would think that my ideal school I want to study is a university, but not a college. So here I would like to mention that actually university and college is the same thing. So there is no difference in this terminology for higher institution in the US. So it's the same. Then the famous one. Famous, I think it goes also the highly ranked, because that's kind of in our mentality. And definitely that's a no, because you cannot really base your research on the highly ranked universities. We know those Ivy League universities, and everyone would want to get into those. But this is those rankings definitely are not one of the best things you have to consider when you are starting to do your research, because those can differ, and those rankings are not always transparent. So we are definitely recommending to find your best fit university. I mean, we've already mentioned, and we've already reached that topic in our previous webinar. We are recommending our student to find his best fit university, the university that he would definitely stick to and rely to and be related to. So yeah, that's definitely a huge part and an important part of the research. Then the one located in a big city. So as we said in previous webinar, big city does not equal all the time to, to super higher expectations. So you should consider a lot of factors like like traffic jams, like expensiveness, like huge population. So you definitely need to consider that during your research. And then another myth is that they offer the specialization from the first. So definitely that's a no. Okay, and in the next slide, we can consider here the main steps that you have to consider when you are applying for a university in the US. But I think that's Aina's slide, so you can go on, Aina.
Yeah, thank you, Alina. And as Alina already said, the first step is forget about everything you think you knew. When we say you think you knew, it's the myth. So you should start from very beginning and learn about types of school and application process. So look for webinars, read a lot, and try to believe only the information which is reliable and which is from the official sources. So next is open your mind to new possibilities and information. So when we say that the world is big, you should start from the broader picture, and here you should first of all you evaluate yourself, be realistic, understand your possibilities, financial possibilities and academic achievements. So you should put everything on the scale and understand, subdivide universities as A, B, C, universities of first choice, second and third choice, but still you should understand that how you fit the university and how university fits you. And next is define your priorities. You should understand, in the previous webinar, we have said that first step in understanding which university to apply is defining your goals and priorities. One should understand the goal. What for are you going to study to US? Your academic goals, your professional goals, your everyday life. You should understand yourself and think where you want to live and where you can live. Is it a big city or the small town? As Alina already said, big cities and famous cities, which are touristic, are not always great to study and to live in because they are very expensive, they have traffic jams and so on. Next is research, research, research. Every time we say that you should look for different opportunities, and first of all, look to the university website and then look to the websites which are reputable and credible, and find the information there. After you made a lot of research, after you understand your goals, and after you evaluated your opportunities, you should narrow down your options. Narrow down your options to the uh, narrow down your options to the universities that are your first choice and you can apply it there. Identify your dream, mid-range and fallback schools. As I already said, A, B, C, first, second and third. There should be universities that you dream to go. Never leave your dream, always go and try yourself. Then you should be realistic and you have to have two or three mid-range universities where you are, after collecting all the documents and after filling the application, you understand that you can apply. And also always have your fallback schools, or always have the opportunity, leave an opportunity for you to apply to the US and university. So have the plan C. And the last but not the least step, attend the Education USA virtual sessions. Here you can find a lot of information and contact us via emails. Next, please. So on what basis you are evaluated and in the during the undergraduate applications? It's GPA, letters of recommendation, good test scores, extracurricular activities, personal statements, or other supplemental documents, portfolios. Writing and research skills. Here we can say that you can always add your writing sample and research proposal during your application process, and master your English. It's the first thing you need to do. But we will have a lot of webinars on these topics, extracurricular activities and portfolios that should be made by you. So look for the next webinars, please. Next slide. And about the graduate education, what basis you should be aware, and on what basis you are evaluated during your graduate application process. It's again GPA, which you got from the bachelor's degree, and the graduate test scores such as GMAT, jury, TOEFL, and so on. Personal statements, essays, and motivation letters. Next is writing and research skills. Here we should mention that during the graduate admission process, the writing and research skills are vital, and usually schools ask to submit the writing sample or research proposal for in the application process. Next is teaching experience, knowledge of program, faculty, and their research. Again, search for the school you're gonna apply. Search for the major you're choosing. Look for the professors and try to reach the professors before you apply. Thorough knowledge of the field of study. Understand what kind of research is done by faculty members according to major you are choosing, and understand whom you fit. I mean the professors whom you fit according to their research, and who can be supervising you during your future studies. So, in the last slides, we wanted to mention that in the US, there are more than 4,000 universities. So first of all, look to their websites. The websites should be the basis of your research, the university websites. Here we listed the media and websites which are reliable and credible, and you can search there. It's the College Board, the College Search System, the Peterson's College Search, and so on. So thank you so much.
Yes. So one of the things that I would like to mention as we wrap up is that definitely the application process and the research for financial aid is an important part. And what makes it even more difficult is that the process is super competitive. So you should be really realistic, and you should be really conscious about the fact that even if you are applying for this financial aid, you need to be super competitive. You need to be aware about all the conditions and all the factors you will have to consider during the application process, because it's one thing when you apply without getting financial aid, so you are capable to, so your family can support you. And it's another fact when you really want to be fully funded by your university, and that makes the process even more competitive. So prepare yourself in advance for the process. And we will try to give you as much information as possible. You can definitely reach us via our email address. You can browse for more information about the application process and about the steps that you need to consider on our website. If you have some questions in particular, you can definitely use our email address, and we will offer you some more guidance. So thank you very much for being today with us, and we will highly appreciate if you can also follow us for the next events. We are having some more 2 additional webinars related to topics such as how you have to master your resume in Canva, and another topic is going to be dedicated to how to prepare for your standardized tests. So keep very interested about the sessions that we are going to offer in future, and stay tuned to all the new events that we are going to organize. Thank you once again, and have a great week ahead.
Thank you so much, guys, for joining us.
Hi everyone, my name is Delaine. I am majoring in film, television, and interactive media, and I am from the Dominican Republic.
My name is Scarlett. I'm currently studying international global studies and anthropology. I'm from Shanghai, China.
I am Nizar, and I am from a very tiny village named Oshkandas in Pakistan. Then I'm studying Masters in Peace Studies and Conflict Resolution.
I'm Bhavita. I'm studying MA SID. I'm from Hyderabad, India.
Social science, arts, and humanities majors are offered at a wide variety of different institutions in the United States, including public, private, and community colleges. These three curriculums all combined together are where we can learn about the human and society, cultural things we are in today.
I really enjoy how you can try everything you want in community college. Before going to a 4-year institute, I had the chance to try art, try humanities, literature, and I now know myself better. I know what I want to do.
I think studying the humanities helps me to see things in another perspective. You're not only just reading text, but also at the same time you're analyzing the behaviors. I also really like how I can have like a foreseeable future career path, and there are mentors and professors along the way helping me.
I always knew that I wanted to do something into the arts, but I think studying in the US inspired me to really go beyond that. So for me, it's been interesting to use film as a platform for like racial justice and just finding new ways to use my art and my passions to impact my community and beyond.
The social sciences develop a deep understanding of what factors enable individuals to operate in societies in a certain way, what brings societies together, what tears them apart. I'm curious to start my career in an international country like USA and figure out what are some existing frameworks that will lead to development but also sustainably.
US has the most diverse culture, which enhance your cultural competency when you go out for your career. It makes you more skillful when you work with different people in different settings. And I can contribute towards my community or back home more in a diverse way.
I think for me, one of my highlights of studying in the US has been to be part of a community where everyone is so passionate for learning. And like the conversations that you get in the classroom are so interesting because they're all from different perspectives.